That's the they know what the deal is. Oh, God knows. Right. Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all tap in with Johnny, man.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
You're better than mine now, man. I got a blank fan. Nice. Yeah.
I appreciate
it, man.
Stuff from Louis, okay.
Drip check, drip check.
Drip check.
I know how you coming. I know how you coming.
Jacket Supreme. This ain't a regular white tee either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good, man.
That plain too, got.
You ready?
That diamond boy here too.
This investigation, and Bill police are saying this was a targeted attack.
And police wouldn't say exactly why. They just said that it was a targeted attack based on the evidence here at the scene, which includes multiple shell casings. You can see the scene just behind me, still very active out here right now. Police calling this a drive-by shooting and receiving the assistance of the FBI in this case. The FBI telling us they are here just to support HPD. Now, HPD says a shot rang out at about 6:10 tonight. They tell us they're currently searching for 2 suspects. HPD sees witnesses saw the suspects come up on the victim's car and begin to fire. The suspects were said to be dressed in all black hoodies.
At some point, they approached him in the 2100 block here and began shooting. I don't know if they cut him out, boxed him in, or whatever, but that's part of the investigation. And as we get more footage and get a chance to review it, we'll put it out.
And what makes you believe it was targeted?
Based on our experience, and there's a few things that I just don't want to go into right now, it's not random.
And police say the suspects were last seen leaving the scene in a black Subaru. If you have any information on that black Subaru or the people responsible for the shooting, you're asked to call the Houston Police Department and report it immediately. We're live near River Oaks, Wilbur.
It's important that y'all listen closely to this interview because it's vital for the framework of this story. So I want y'all to listen to every little bit and piece very, very closely.
He was talking to me, the dude I'm talking to for the feature or whatever. He talking to his uncle, like he like, oh, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. So his uncle say, go to the car and get more, like get the rest of the equipment or whatever. So I'm thinking like, why would you? It should be the opposite way. You tell him to go, cause we like the ones we locked in. We talked or whatever about the song, to do the song, and you gonna leave the random dude in my crib. Type. So when he walked out, I was kind of nervous, so I locked the door. Both locks. And his uncle, he pulled out some bread. He like, oh man, we ain't on that. We not on no weird or nothing like that. You ain't gotta lock the doors and like that. He like, I'm a grown man or whatever. I was like, oh nah, bro. I just got PTSD. Like whenever he come and knock on the door, I'll just open it. Like that. I'm not gonna let nobody random person walk in my crib. And then he like, oh no, I respect that. And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, we be doing that. We be active too. He pulling out bread. He like, yeah, I've been doing blah blah blah. And I'm like, I was like, nah, for sure. Like, respect. Like, do your thing. I ain't tripping. I don't care. I actually don't give a what they were doing. Where the bread at? Like, pay for this shit, get out my face for real. So while he talking, he asked him about my chain. He like, how much what jewelry you go to? Blah blah blah. How much he hit you for? And I'm telling him like, oh yeah, I dropped the bag on this one. Da. And then right as I'm talking, I go down to look at my piece while he talking. I'm like, this one? I'm like, yeah, this one. While I'm looking down like that, that's when he upped the pole on me. And he like, oh yeah, run that. And he had a distance though. And I'm like, man, you got me up. I ain't running. So and he was like, if you don't run that, I'm gonna blow you. And he like, I'm gonna shoot you type. And I was like, bro, you dead serious right now? And he was like, I'll shoot your run that. And so while I'm sitting there, I'm talking to him or whatever. He like, run that. I'm like, nah, you got me f***ed up, bro. What the hell you got going? And then he like, nah, well, I see you flexing on Instagram, all that. What that? Where is that? Like that. I was like, man. I was like, bro, all right, bro. I started taking off my chain first because he started asking about other, like, where is it? So I'm like, I'm giving what he want real quick. So I took off my chain and he's standing at a distance. He's still at a distance, so I can't like move quick and jump. So when he come over, he reached for the chain and he took the gun off me. Right there, I hit him with like both of his arms under my armpit like this. And I like lean back like all the way back so his elbows lock up like that. So he holding the gun, he turn it and fire at the refrigerator. And then he like, run that. So I just fell back. Like if he would have like tried to hold back, his arm was gonna break. So I just jumped back and fall all the way back. And then when we fall down to the ground, his hand slammed under me. So he let the gun go. And then he tried to pull out, I don't know what he was pulling out, but I took his arm in again while he was on top of me on the floor. So his arms under me, both his arms under me. And I could feel the guns on my back. So I pushed my back all the way down and like bring him closer to me. I'm like, come shoot him. I'm yelling at him. I'm like, come shoot him. I don't know where she at. So I just keep tugging with him like that until I get wrestling out his hand. So then she run over there, Last Supper. And then he like, while I walk by, he grabbed my foot. He like, come on, bro, take me with you, bro. I can make it to the hospital. I just need to go to the hospital. I was like, I ain't taking you no hospital, boy. You're about to fry right here. And if they come save you, then they come save you. If not, then you're toasty. You're gone. Last day, Last Supper. Whatever he ate before he came there, gone. So that was pretty much of that. After that, I rushed to the hospital. Well, I go down, I'm trying to.
After BTB Savage was speaking about the night that he took out a guy who claimed to want a feature from him, he then took to his Instagram and Twitter and posted these pictures of him standing in the very spot in his home where the man lost his life. There was dried up DNA all over the floors and walls, and we're gonna use DNA just for YouTube purposes. But it was definitely something highly disrespectful. One of the most disrespectful things I ever seen. Next level disrespect. Then he captions it with, fast forward, a ninja death day. Make him meet his maker. Broke ninja beefing. Make his mama throw a fundraiser. Wow. That is probably one of the most disrespectful things you can say. But we understand why. The man tried to rob him. Did he take it a little far? Maybe so. But then we get the most shocking news of it all. As it was reported that BTB Savage was viciously gunned down in River Oaks out in Houston on Thursday evening, only hours after he had mocked that enemy on Vlad TV's interview, the one y'all just heard. And you know, the details of the shooting are still lingering. There's a lot of stuff coming out, but what we do know is that it occurred on San Felipe Street. He was in a white Mercedes. There was videos going around everywhere. BTB Savage was parked on the side of the road. When the Mercedes was riddled with bullets, they said that it looked like several assault rifles were fired at him from a black Subaru that pulled beside him. Two identified gunmen hopped out and unleashed a haul of bullets. So it was execution style. They made sure that he was in a car where he couldn't get away. And when I heard this initially, it sounded familiar, didn't it? Because it sounded like a situation that happened to another up-and-coming rapper in Lotta Cash Desto. As we all know, she was gunned down at a stoplight, car riddled with bullets. And she was not from the area. She was from Memphis. He's not from the area. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. Then you stop and think how dangerous Houston is on the regular to regular people. But for these rappers, Houston is up there with the most dangerous cities. Houston is up there with the Los Angeles. Houston is up there with the Atlantas. Houston is up there with the Chicagos. Houston is very dangerous for these rappers. And it doesn't matter if they are a high-end rapper, got a little buzz, haven't even made a check yet. If they just look like, you know, they might be taking off or budding or, you know, finna get to that bag, Houston is coming for that. They don't care. And then the fact that the video, the way that his legs were hanging out of that sheet, it reminded me of another incident that happened out in Los Angeles, California, to one of my personal favorite artists all time, Nipsey Hussle. The way his legs was hanging out of that sheet. I'm not gonna show that video, man, because it's just flat out distasteful. Does not need to be shown. And the music that the fans are putting behind the video is even more disrespectful. It's just crazy how people are taking this because of what he said on Vlad TV earlier today, the caption he had, the disrespect that he had towards a man who pointed a gun at him, tried to take the possessions that he worked hard for, a man who had an opportunity to take this man's life. You wouldn't have no respect for a man who passed away who tried to take your life. I'm just saying. Did he take it overboard? We can all agree. I agree. He most definitely did. He shouldn't have went to the extras. Shouldn't have made captions about the dude death day and all this standing in a man's DNA and all the extras. That was overboard. I agree. And to me, it kind of seemed like a sigil, but that's besides the point right now. What I'm saying is, for everybody with this negative reaction, you would not have been positive about someone who hit you up, claimed that they wanted to do business. You gave them an opportunity. You allowed them to come into your home, and then they try to set you up, take your life, take your personal possessions that you work hard for. And not only that, threatened to take the life of your girlfriend. He had every right to not feel bad for taking that man's life. Each and every one of us would have felt the same way. But like I said, he took it overboard. What he did was purely evil. That was inhumane. That was inhumane. I can't even lie. And see, it's like when people pull these type of actions, have just a sheer lack of human decency, they don't understand that these people still have family who are living, breathing, and deep down want revenge, retaliation. Now, I'm not saying that they had anything to do with this. This is alleged, and this is how I would feel. Even though I know that my family member did something wrong, and you know, he lost his life, that's kind of cause and effect. So, hey, I got to let that one go. But then when you get online, boasting and bragging about it, going on the biggest internet interviewing platform ever, and bragging about what you did and clowning and saying, you know, I ain't helping you, I'm finna go to the hospital. You know, all these extras. When you're putting on all these extras, putting up captions, standing in a man's DNA, all the extras, that would infuriate me. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel like, okay, now I got a battle. And like I'm saying, I don't think they had anything to do with this. This is all entertainment. This is all alleged. I'm just saying the mindset, you know, you're not worried about what could come behind that. You don't know what he got standing behind this. You don't know this man. You don't know who he's in association with. Just being careless, trying to get a couple clicks, trying to get views, trying to look like a demon on the internet. And now tragedy happened. Because when you put that energy out in the world, like I tell y'all, it's always gonna come back full circle. You know, now may this man rest in peace. We gotta understand at the end of the day, 2 men lost their lives here. And this man just lost his life. So I don't want to make it about, you know, the mistakes in which he made. But for the ones who living like this, man, who doing stuff like this, I want y'all to take this as an example. I want this to sink in. You may think, hey, nah, I'm not a big rapper. This can't happen to me. Yes, it can. You be disrespectful towards somebody's deceased peoples, and that energy will come back full circle. I promise you, in some shape, form, or fashion. Believe that. Somebody will be after you. You might have been the hunter before, but now you becoming a hunted, and you don't know who on your bumper and who behind your back, who really want something to do with, you know, what you done put out there, with the smoke that you didn't ask for, because that's what you asking for. You know what I'm saying? Houston is a very, very dangerous city, man, especially for those with a name, man, with a brand. We lost Duke the Jeweler, Takeoff, a lot of Cash Desto, BTB Savage. Man, the list is starting to build up. I know I'm forgetting a lot more names, but those are the more notable ones as of recent, man. Y'all stay safe out here in this world. And may this young man rest easy. You know, hopefully he got time, man, to speak with the Most High and ask for forgiveness.